little bit of motion to him. He has more motion than Goff is capable of. So
I know trees with more motion than Goff, bro. They just sway in the wind a little bit. The Bears we watched, we watched the collapse. We watched them lose a big lead to the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. Caleb Williams distraught, the crowd booing. Not a great scene on Monday Night Football for Caleb, pointing down on that. However, the Lions also pointing way down with the loss of both coordinators. In Ben Johnson on offense and Aaron Glenn on defense. A lot of smart people like your boy Lumia had it thought that, hey, if you lose both of your coordinators, that's normally not a good sign, especially when your quarterback is a statue, and they end up losing to the Packers 27-13. And now they are playing against Ben Johnson, their old offensive coordinator. He's now on the Bears. Huge intrigue, really big game for both these 0-1 teams with high expectations. The Lions are favored by 6 points. Tony the Tiger, who you got?
This isn't going to be a 6-point game. If the Lions are favored by 6, I'm going with Chicago. I think Chicago covers the spread. The Lions, now again, the Packers pass rush looked really good, and obviously they got Micah, they got Gary, and a bunch of other pieces, and they were highly touted as before the season started as being one of, if not the best defensive line in the game. So of course, Goff was getting pressured pretty heavily, and it wasn't quite the same. The Bears didn't have quite that same pressure going towards JJ McCarthy. But J.J. McCarthy, as we saw, he had a little bit of motion to him. He has more motion than Goff is capable of. So
I know trees with more motion than Goff, bro. They just sway in the wind a little bit.
So the pass rush might be a little more effective against Goff, but it's just going to be a trying time for Detroit right now with their offense and defense coordinators. And even though the Bears did lose in a collapsing game, they didn't get blown out. And right now, I can't say that the Lions look much better, if not better at all, than the Vikings. The Vikings did win a game, whereas the Lions only scored 6 in a loss. So I'm going to go with Chicago to at least cover the spread. That doesn't mean they win the game, but I don't think that if they lose, that they lose by more than 6 points.
Caleb last night definitely had moments where they couldn't move the ball, and around the second and third quarter he was very inefficient throwing the football, throwing a lot of incompletions, right? Not keeping the chains moving. And all that being said, and they also got a pick six, so you can include that.
Yeah.
All that being said, they still ended up with, I guess if you take out the pick six, 17 points on a Brian Flores defense that was said to have improved in different areas. I think it was more of a defensive collapse. The Vikings scored 3 straight times.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Lions can do that right now as they currently stand. They have a guy, and hearing more about it, knowing now, this is the fun part as we get into week 2. This is not just a guy. I'm learning more about the Lions offensive coordinator because now the whole national media is on it, and I'm just watching shows here and there. Apparently, he used to be a wide receivers coach for like the 49ers back in the day, like the Andy Reid, Bill Walsh era, but he never got the job. So this is his first offensive coordinator job, and he's like 50. And I'm not ageist, but the NFL right now is run by 30-year-olds. Sorry, it just is. 30 and like early 40-year-olds. Those are the guys winning. And Andy Reid. And Sean Payton here and there. Like all-time greats or like those guys. Give you an example of an older guy, Vic Fangio. He's been doing it, though, for 15 years. A first-time play caller at 50-something years old with a team that was run by this boy genius. I just think it's still gonna affect them. I think they even might win the game, but like you said, 6 is a lot. I think it's gonna be a tight game because that Lions team that was first in the league in offense, you're not gonna see them this year. I'm sorry, you're not. And even though Ben Johnson said you're not gonna see that Lions team with us over here either because of those concerns, I think Caleb is still just going to be able to do enough, specifically now against a Lions defense that also doesn't have Aaron Glenn and looked like Jordan Love was kind of doing whatever he wanted out there. I just think that the Bears are going to keep it close. I actually don't think they're even going to win this game. I think it's just going to be like 24-21, but I have the Bears too. I can't take the Lions to be anyone by over 6. I don't think that offense is going to be like that all year, and Jared Goff is slowly turning back into the Jared Goff that the Rams traded. Sorry to do that to you, Jared. But it's just the facts.
Yeah.
I like him. He's on quarterback. Cool show. Chill guy.